everybody, it's Hunter Reviews, and welcome back to another review. Today we are going to be reviewing Molly's Game, which is written and directed by the Oscar-winning Aaron Sorkin, who has written many great scripts for many other directors, and he makes his directorial debut in Molly's Game. This stars Jessica Chastain as Molly Bloom, who is an Olympic skier who injures herself. Then she becomes a poker kingpin and starts creating her own underground poker business where she basically does poker for movie stars, athletes, and even businessmen. I was kind of concerned about Molly's Game because this is Aaron Sorkin's directorial debut, and I didn't know if it was going to be good or not because when a writer makes their directorial debut, it sometimes doesn't always work, but this is exactly what I thought it would be. Molly's Game is very lazy in its direction. It's not anything new. It's not anything brilliant. It's not anything that breaks new ground. I mean, the direction is just kind of simplistic. But I'm not going to give it a negative because of that. This is his first time directing. He gave it a shot, and he tried, and of course it didn't work out, in my eyes at least. But other than that, I thought Molly's Game was terrific. Aaron Sorkin, again, is fantastic in the way he writes his scripts. I don't think he's good at directing, but I think when it comes to writing a story, that's where all the oomph, all the charisma comes out. There's more to it than just a shiny veneer or amazing cinematography. Sorkin has always been about the story, and I think the story for Molly's Game here works. Sorkin uses quippy dialogue, amazing storyline, and a great character to make this movie work. The concept can come out pretty ridiculous, but at the same time, Sorkin finds a way to make it vastly entertaining. And there are moments where I literally went like this in my seat. The way that his dialogue is written comes off in such a vulgar and mean and nihilistic way that it kind of moves the plot forward. And Sorkin, again, is so damn entertaining. There are more monologue scenes in this film where characters are just talking monologue, and it's freaking inspiring and entertaining. Aaron Sorkin has always been about the story, and he is fantastic here. I really love what he did with the story of this character who's based off of a real person. It comes off to me that true story movies don't always work. And when it comes to Aaron Sorkin's writing, it totally works here. And he knocked it out of the park with this. I also think that the acting is very well done. Jessica Chastain is terrific and probably her best performance, I'm going to say probably since A Most Violent Year. She's so powerful, so evil in the way that she portrays this character who is totally ridiculous. I mean, the character that we see on screen that is presented to us is ridiculous. It's implausible that she did these things. And Chastain brings a presence to the character. And I thought it was fantastic what she did with this character. Idris Elba is freaking amazing. This is also another one of his best performances in a couple of years. I mean, he's been in two bad movies this year, and this is the year where I think that really Idris Elba is starting to come back into the limelight, where he's starting to be in good movies. And there is a monologue scene that he has that knocked me into my seat. Literally. When I said I got thrusted back into my seat, that was one of the scenes where I just went, holy crap. That is freaking Oscar-worthy stuff right there, and he did so good. Kevin Costner, even though he's not in the film all that much, he still gives off a good performance. It's really fantastic to see Kevin Costner back in movies. Thank God he's not in movies like $1 Million Baby, I think that's what it's called, or Man of Steel. I mean, he's finally in movies where he can just give off a great performance. Now it's time to get into my negatives, because I do have a couple of negatives mainly to do with little things with narrative. There seems to be a lot of scenes in this movie where I think they could have cut a little bit off, or maybe they could have trimmed the scenes. Because some scenes go on for too long, and I think there's just scenes also in this movie that just don't need to be in the movie. They don't need to be there. The only reason I believe they're there is to patent the runtime, and it doesn't really work. I mean, just some scenes feel unnatural, some scenes feel dull. And again, they aren't because of Aaron Sorkin's writing. They're because of the direction. Those scenes that I said can get boring because they go on too long, it's entertaining at still, but then you start to realize that that's the only thing that's going on in the scene. Entertainment. You want more than that. And I think Aaron Sorkin didn't realize that, and I think a little bit could have been trimmed. I also didn't like the music. I thought the music was very lazily composed. I thought that it was just kind of like just, I don't know how to describe it. That's how bad it is. It's just, it didn't work for me on a level of how music works. And when I do movie reviews, I'm always going to include the music because I am a musical guy. And when I look at music in movies, it's hard to make music. I understand that. But I don't think music in this movie is that great. It's not awful, like I try to cover my ears, but it's just lame. It's lame composition. The ending is also very dissatisfying. I didn't find the ending all that great. I thought it was pretty mediocre. I didn't think that it had much of an impact when you left the theater, because when this movie ended, I thought something like a twist was going to happen, because usually Sorkin does maybe a little twist towards the end of his movies. Sorkin just ended it, and it was lame, and I was like, what? Shouldn't there be more? I wanted maybe one extra scene, but that's literally all my problems. Molly's Game so far is the best movie of the year. It's brilliantly written. The dialogue is quippy, fast, and really well written. The acting is fantastic. I think that the story, even though it's such a small concept, and even though it sounds so ridiculous, it's very entertaining. And Molly's Game is freaking entertaining. I want to see Aaron Sorkin direct more movies. I think he can learn from this, but overall, Molly's Game was fantastic, and I'm going to give Molly's Game a 94%. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching my review of Aaron Sorkin's Molly's Game. If you like this, you can like and subscribe, and as always, see you guys later.